Europe affects us in our everyday lives now in Europeans.
Hollywood has long dominated big-budget animated films, but that may be coming to an end. Europe's animators are going from strength to strength, bolstered by a non-profit association based in Brussels called, fittingly, Cartoon. It was set up in 1999, and its aim is to accelerate the financing and distribution of European animated features. The figures bear proof of Cartoon's success. 123 fully financed European animation movies in the past 10 years. France leads the way with 41 full-length productions to its name. That's double the output compared to the 20 years before that. But there are two parts to a strong film industry: production and distribution. Where distribution is concerned, America remains king. In a bid to level the playing field, the French association Europa Distribution has united animation companies from 18 countries under one umbrella and received an innovation award for it.
Europe has a multiplicity of cultures, but I think we're moving more and more towards European strategies in terms of animation distribution. That's why we created Europa Distribution, so the distributors Europe-wide could work together.
We have to think like the major American movie companies and put in place joint strategies which can bring us bigger audiences.
Je pense, plus de résultats en termes d'audience.
The production schedule of computer animation can be as long as for hand-drawn films. This German production has been in the pipeline for 10 years. By the time it hits the screens, it may be able to take advantage of new, cheaper and easier distribution possibilities, namely digital distribution. Marc Bonny from Lyon in France is a film distributor, but he also owns his own cinema.
Animation is without doubt the sector where digital advances are making the biggest mark. Traditional techniques were put aside in favour of computer animation some time ago now. And if we put the computer images back onto film, we lose quality.
Old cinema projectors were modelled on the invention of the Lumière brothers more than 100 years ago. But now the reels of film are being increasingly jettisoned in favour of computers, servers and video projectors. It's demanded massive investment. The Pathé Vez cinema in Lyon has just opened its doors and boasts 8 brand new digital screening rooms out of 14 in total. The technical director has been amazed by what he's seen.
You have this image on a screen which is 200 metres squared. It's 20 metres long and 10 metres high. And to see this image so clearly, only made possible by digital technology, something we simply couldn't do with film.
The new technology is facilitating an entirely new way of working in cinemas worldwide. Traditional ways of working have been turned on their head.
Once we've decided which films we'll be showing, we can easily change them from room to room without physically moving anything at all. We just have to reprogram the servers. The second advantage is that we can maintain the quality of the projection.
Le deuxième avantage, c'est évidemment le maintien de la qualité pendant toute la durée de l'exploitation du film.
Alors qu'avec le 35 mm, il y avait des micros.
With the 35mm film, there were always little faults, dust, lots of things. When the film went through the projector, it got damaged, stretched. With digital projection, that doesn't happen, and I think that's fabulous.
Et ça, je trouve que c'est fabuleux.
Faced with increasing competition from video games and home cinema possibilities, the movie houses have had to evolve to keep up. There's been a renaissance of 3D movies. What was once horribly complicated with conventional projection becomes an altogether different story when it can be shown digitally.
The only way to reach
This Belgian production, Fly Me to the Moon, is taking advantage of that.
This is so cool.
It's now possible to give cinema goers an incredibly lifelike experience, especially in animation. That's what the cinema goer's looking for. It's an experience he can't get elsewhere. The big American studios are working on 3D films made especially for digital projection, which we should see at the end of this year.
As with any new technology, investments have to be made before its popularity can be guaranteed. But it's the people who risk the investment who have the most to gain.
Those who are going to clean up as a result of digital technology are the big film distributors, who can save money by not having to make hundreds of copies of each movie. And the cinema owners, who have a system which works well, despite the expense and the uncertainty at first as to whether it would take off.
A traditional film projector lasts about 30 years. When going digital, the question cinema owners need to ask is not how long the equipment will last, but how soon it will be superseded.
More and more people are watching films in places other than the cinema. But there are still established agreements, in particular with the big American film companies. We are protected a bit, but instead of our interests being protected for 3 or 4 years, we now need assurances for 8 to 10 years, even though there'll obviously be a natural evolution. But I think the infrastructure costs will go down, and maybe we'll have to buy equipment which is quickly outdated, but doesn't cost so much.
So the biggest question is, are we now looking at the demise of 35mm film?
The paradox is that perhaps films are going to continue to be put on 35mm film for library purposes, but they'll be shown by digital means. 35mm film will give way to new material. It's digital. It's normal. All the people who bought VHS machines, I don't know when, what can they do with them now?